You do not outproduce an industrial superpower while it is bombing you. For decades, every general, economist, and dictator believed this rule. Wars are won by factories, and factories need time, stability, and safety. You cannot dismantle an entire industrial base, move it thousands of kilometers, rebuild it in the wilderness, and somehow produce more weapons than before. That was the rule. German planners believed it absolutely. Hitler believed it with religious certainty. Blitzkrieg was not just about speed at the front, it was about shattering an enemy's industrial spine before it could recover. Once factories fell, resistance collapsed. That was how modern war worked. So when Germany invaded the Soviet Union in June of 1941, Hitler was confident. He wasn't just destroying armies. He was destroying the means to replace them. But in 1941, deep beyond the Urals, inside freezing workshops built from mud, scrap steel, and desperation, one man helped shatter that rule. And Hitler could never understand how. You are Alexander Morozov. It is 1941. You are 47 years old. You are not a general. You do not wear medals into battle. Your battlefield is a drafting table stained with grease and cigarette burns. You are the chief designer of the T-34 tank, a machine Germany already fears more than it wants to admit. Sloped armor. Wide tracks. A diesel engine that doesn't burn like gasoline. Simple. Brutal. Effective. But now the war is going wrong. German panzer groups tear through Ukraine. Luftwaffe bombers target Kharkov, the heart of Soviet tank production. Entire factories face capture within weeks. And Stalin issues an order that sounds insane. Everything must move east. Not partially. Not later. Immediately. In a matter of months, more than 1,500 factories are dismantled. Machines weighing tens of tons are unbolted. Conveyor lines are cut apart. Cranes, presses, furnaces, all loaded onto trains. More than 25,000 railcars roll eastward. You ride with them. You do not know where you are going. You only know the destination is somewhere beyond the Ural Mountains, places without roads, housing, or power grids sufficient for industry. Germany expects chaos. Hitler expects collapse. What he does not understand is what kind of people this system produces, and what they are willing to endure. The train stops in Nizhny Tagil. There is no factory waiting. There are no finished buildings. There is snow, mud, wind that cuts through coats and bone. You step down from the railcar and look at the empty ground where the largest tank factory on earth must be built, immediately. You have weeks, not years. So you begin. Workers unload machine tools directly into open fields. Lathes sit under tops. Welding sparks fly in freezing air. Power cables snake through mud. The first workshops are wooden sheds nailed together by hand. There is no choice. Production must start before the factory is finished. Men work 12 to 16 hours a day. Women replace conscripted machinists. Teenagers lie about their age to get hired. Children pass tools and sweep metal shavings. You simplify everything. Every unnecessary curve is removed from the tank design. Every component that requires specialized machining is redesigned to be stamped, welded, or cast faster. Armor plates are welded rougher, but thicker. Finish quality drops. Output rises. In 1941, the Soviet Union produces about 3,000 tanks. Germany produces more, and believes it has won the race. But then winter hits. And something changes. By 1942, Morozov's factory, Uralvagon Zavod, produces tanks in numbers that defy logic. One every 30 minutes. Assembly lines move day and night. Workers sleep beside machines. Some do not go home for weeks. Frost forms on metal inside workshops. There is no heating. Hands bleed. People collapse. They are replaced. German intelligence reports make no sense. Bombing raids destroy known factories, yet tank numbers increase. Hitler demands answers. His generals cannot give them. Then comes Stalingrad. German tank units report encountering more T-34s than expected. Losses mount. Replacement tanks arrive too slowly. Soviet formations, however, return again and again. Every destroyed tank seems replaced by two more. Morozov pushes further. Casting replaces forging. Parts are standardized across variants. Engines are built with fewer precision steps. The design becomes uglier and deadlier. Failure feels imminent every day. Steel shipments fall behind. Electricity cuts out. At one point, production drops dangerously low. Then workers reroute power from civilian areas. Production resumes. And this is when the truth becomes impossible to ignore. In 1943, Soviet factories produce over 24,000 tanks. Germany produces less than half that number, despite superior machine tools, skilled labor, and safer facilities. Hitler is furious. He rages about inefficiency, sabotage, betrayal. He demands heavier tanks, more complex designs, better armor. Each one takes longer to build. Morozov does the opposite. He builds faster. And by 1944, the numbers are overwhelming. Soviet factories outproduce Germany by 3 to 1 in armored vehicles. The Reich simply cannot keep up. Mid-roll CTA. If you find this kind of forgotten history as fascinating as we do, we'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. We believe these stories of endurance, sacrifice, and genius deserve to be told. And by subscribing, you help us ensure they aren't forgotten. What Germany doesn't understand is that this is no longer an industrial contest. It is an existential system. Soviet losses are catastrophic, but replaceable. German losses are irreplaceable. Every Panther lost takes months to rebuild. Every T-34 lost takes days. By Kursk, German commanders report being worn down not by tactics, but by numbers they cannot escape. Factories in the Reich face bombing, skilled labor shortages, and material bottlenecks. Meanwhile, beyond the Urals, Soviet production grows more stable every month. Morozov's simplified designs become doctrine. Quantity becomes a weapon. Hitler never accepts it. He refuses to believe that mud-covered factories with exhausted workers could outperform Germany's industrial heritage. But they do. And the war turns. Alexander Morozov survives the war. He continues designing tanks for decades. His work influences armored warfare worldwide. But the people he worked with, many do not survive. Thousands of unnamed workers die from exhaustion, malnutrition, and exposure. Teenagers who never return home. Women who weld until their hands shake permanently. To this day, tanks built in Nizhny Tagil still roll off production lines. The factory still exists. The lesson still matters. Wars are not won only by genius generals or miracle weapons. Sometimes, they are won by people who refuse to stop building, no matter the cost. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or country, and tell us if someone in your family helped build, fight, or endure during wartime. Thank you for ensuring that Alexander Morozov and the millions of Soviet industrial workers do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.